Hey everybody, it's Paige, and today's video is going to be a first impressions review and wear test of a bunch of new Morphe products, including the Fluidity foundation, and I've also got the concealers, the powder, the primer. I've got it all. I literally just finished putting my makeup on, so this is a little bit of a sneak peek of how things turned out. I will also be doing check-ins throughout the day to show you guys how well it's lasting on my skin. Also, I know this video is totally giving me Tati vibes, so I'm not trying to like pull this off as an original idea. I did pay for all of these products with my own money, and this video is not sponsored, so I did just want to go ahead and throw that out there. And I also wanted to run through the prices of the products that I'm testing out today. So the first one is the Morphe Equalizer Primer, and this product retails for $12. This is the new Fluidity Full Coverage Foundation, and this retails for $18. I did pick up 3 of the concealers, and each one retails for $9. And then the Filter Effect Powder retails for $12. You can also always use a code for 10% off. I personally don't have a code with Morphe, so I used Jaclyn Hill's code to save 10%. You can use anyone's code that has one with Morphe and you'll save 10% on your purchase, which I think is really, really awesome. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get started. So as you can see, my skin has not been doing very hot recently, but the positive in this is that we're going to be able to truly put this foundation to the test and see if it is as full coverage as it claims to be. So I have the shade 2.20. I'm not sure if this is gonna work for me or not. I tried my best to guess based on the swatches online. I also did get this little like sample packet, and this is level 2, so I chose level 2, and I have the second shade in level 2, like the second darkest shade in level 2. So hopefully this works out. This is a matte foundation. You do get 1 fluid ounce. This is what the packaging looks like. I'm really, really hoping that this color is at least decent, because this is a wear test as well, so that's going to be super awkward if my foundation doesn't match me. I feel like if anything, it's going to be too light, so at least I can kind of like manipulate that a little bit better. So it has a little squeezy tube. I'm just going to put about that much on the back of my hand. It actually looks like it's gonna be maybe a good match. I'm not sure. I'm so excited. I am such an idiot. I forgot to put freaking primer on. Okay, so we're gonna start with primer. So what I decided to do is use my everyday favorite primer on half of my face, and then use the Morphe Equalizer Foundation Primer on the other half of my face, just because I know I love this primer and I know how it works with other foundations that I have. And then this is another first impression, so I won't know, like, if I don't like something, I won't know if it's the primer or the foundation if I just use this all over my face. So we're gonna put the Morphe primer on my left side of my face, and then the Tatcha primer on my right side of my face. That's gonna be the opposite for you guys. So this primer is just like a clear, kind of like silicone-y looking primer. So it feels really silicone-y too. Feels like it's gonna be a good pore filling primer. Just so you guys know, here's a size comparison of the Morphe foundation and the primer. I assumed they were gonna be the same size, but I didn't read the amount. So you get 0.67 fluid ounces here, and you get 1 fluid ounce here. So now I'm gonna take my Tatcha, the Silk Canvas primer, and put some of this on my right side of my face. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the foundation. So I left that on the back of my hand because I didn't want to waste any product. And I'm gonna blend this out with my Miracle Complexion Sponge from Real Techniques. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more because I didn't get enough to cover my forehead, and just like immediate first impression, the consistency of this foundation is like really weird. Like, it feels like a normal liquidy foundation when you put it on the back of your hand, but as I'm spreading it out, I don't even know. It almost has like a moussey feeling. I don't know. I haven't seen any reviews on this foundation yet, just being completely honest. So I saw a couple people like mention it on their like Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, things like that, but I haven't watched a single review on this foundation, so I don't know what other people are thinking. I have heard that there is more of a negative opinion overall of this foundation, but I'm not gonna let that influence my opinion at all. I feel like this did a really good job of covering, especially my redness around my nose and things. I feel like some of this breakout area around my mouth could use a little bit more coverage, so I do think I'm actually going to just dab what's left over on my hand, just like a tiny bit, kind of around my mouth. Maybe I'll add a little bit more actually. I do feel like this is a pretty dang good match for my skin as far as color goes, and I can definitely tell that this is more of a matte finish. It's definitely not like super shiny or dewy. Like, this is probably the most matte foundation I have ever tried. I haven't tried a ton of foundations, but definitely the most matte foundation that I've personally ever tried. So now I have 3 of the concealer shades. I bought the white concealer to like mix in with other concealer shades or to use to like cut my crease. And then I also have C1.65 and C1.55. So I don't know if these are gonna match at all or if they're gonna be like the completely wrong undertone. I don't know. I feel like I'm more of like a yellowy undertone, but I think these are both like cool toned concealers. So this is what they look like. I'll go ahead and swatch them. So this one right here is 0.00. The middle one is 1.55, and then this one is 1.65. So they are very drastic. This one is very like orangey based, and this one is a lot more pinky undertoned, and these are right next to each other as far as shade range, and then this is the super bright white one. So honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like the pink one is gonna be like too cool toned for me, but this one right here is like not bright enough, so I actually might mix the white and the 1.65 together and see what happens. I'm like really scared. So I'm just gonna add like a little bit because I don't want things to get too crazy. So as I'm looking at my face up close, you can definitely tell that I'm wearing foundation and concealer. It definitely does not have a natural finish. Not that that's a problem, just don't expect that from this. I do like the mix of the shades that I used under my eyes and on my eyelids. I went just in with the shade 1.65, which is the deepest shade that I have right here, and I put a little bit on my chin and my nose just to make sure that I had enough coverage there, and then also on this like breakout right here, because don't get me wrong, like this is freaking monsters. I didn't expect anything to like completely cover this, but I did feel like I could still see some redness just from the foundation. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set my face, and I do have the Morphe Filter Effect Finishing Powder. I have this in the shade #filter3. And this says that it's a buildable sheer to medium coverage, creamy lightweight formula, shine free and oil absorbing, selfie approved. So this is what the packaging looks like. I actually really like the packaging on this product. You get a nice mirror inside, and then the bottom has this little like, little puffy thing, which I don't think I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eye area with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose setting powder, because I just know that this works for me. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want to have too many variables when I'm trying a product for the first time, or multiple products for the first time. So I went ahead and set my upper lip area and my nose with the Maybelline Fit Me powder, just because that's what I normally do with the beauty sponge. And now we're going to go into the Morphe powder, and I'm actually going to use the Blinged Brushes F1 brush. I just did a full review on these brushes. You guys need to check it out if you haven't already. These are my new favorite brushes. So I'm just going to go right on in here with the F1 powder brush and just kind of start dusting that along the rest of my face. So if you have maybe drier skin, you probably don't need to set it. I have very oily skin, so I set any foundation no matter how matte it is. I'm gonna set it no matter how dry it is outside. I'm setting it with a lot of powders. Aren't these brushes just like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? Like when I look in the viewfinder with me using them, or like in the mirror, like I just like stare at the handle and not at what I'm doing. Okay, so I will say I really do like this powder a lot. I can't tell you exactly how much coverage it gave me because my face is pretty dang full coverage prior to putting this powder on. So I am gonna go ahead and set my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Honestly, I'm really liking all of the products that I've used so far. I don't have any major complaints. I am gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I will be back to talk to you guys a little bit more in depth about each individual product, and then I will do check-ins throughout the day to see how well this foundation is holding up. So I just finished my makeup, and the one complaint that I do have is my under eye area looks pretty dry. I did use a lot of setting spray to try to bring some life back to my under eye area, which did help a lot, but I still feel like you can see more fine lines than you normally can. So that's just something to note. I feel like next time I wear this foundation, I definitely won't use as much powder. I don't even know if I'll use the Maybelline powder at all. I might just use the Morphe powder to set my under eye area just to keep things a little bit more alive looking. So for eyes, I'm wearing the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette and the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette, and then on my lips I have the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Christmas Cookie. So far I can't really tell a difference between the Morphe primer and the Tatcha primer. I feel like my pores in this area might be a little bit less noticeable than on this side of my face, but it's like really hard to tell, so I can't make any final judgments on that. But so far I think that the primer looks great under the foundation. So far I'm loving the foundation. I still feel like the color matches really well. I don't think that it oxidized any further. It is very full coverage. This little breakout right here it's literally bright red, so like honestly didn't think it was gonna cover it, but it actually looks really good. Like I feel like my skin looks very even, and I think that it honestly looks really good, especially for how broken out my skin is. The concealers, I still feel like I'm kind of like iffy on the concealers. I don't feel like I could make a for sure judgment. I didn't use the 1.55 because I feel like this is just way too cool tone for me, but maybe I'll use it eventually, or I'll play around with it some more. This is the packaging of the concealers, by the way. I think that they're really cute. So far I love all of the products that I've tried, and we'll see how that opinion changes throughout the day. Okay, so I'm filming my first check-in. It is currently 4:31 p.m. and I put this makeup on at about 12 o'clock, so it's been on for about 4.5 hours, and it's holding up pretty good. I did just eat, so my lipstick is like gone, but overall I feel like it looks pretty good. I will say I am getting some creasing under my eyes, which you can kind of see a little bit right here, which honestly happens to me with a lot of concealers, like most concealers. I have only had this on for 4.5 hours, and I usually do wear makeup longer than that. I'm not gonna touch it up or anything like that. I do just wanna leave it and see if it gets worse, or if that's the worst that it's gonna get. But other than that, like, sometimes I get some creasing in my forehead, but I don't have any creasing in my forehead at all, which I think is really good. It still looks pretty dang good around my mouth. You can see my texture, but that's not the foundation's fault. I just have really bad breakouts right now, but honestly, I still think it looks pretty dang good. I filmed a bunch of videos. I was under some hot, bright lights, and now I'm about to go to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods to film a shop with me, so this is my first little check-in. I'll probably check in when I'm at those stores, or maybe when I'm done with those stores. I don't know. I'll check in a few more hours and then give you a little bit of an update. So it's currently 7:21. This makeup has been on my face for about 7.5 hours, and as you can see, it held up pretty well. Again, underneath my eyes, there's still that creasing. I didn't do anything to it. I didn't touch it up or anything. It doesn't look awful. I am finally starting to kind of see some shininess from my oiliness, like on my forehead and around my chin right here and kind of in this area, but until about 30 minutes ago, my face was matte. It was matte as can be, so I feel like this foundation did a really good job as far as holding up throughout the day. I've been out and about for the last couple hours shopping. I filmed a bunch of videos. I was sweating, and overall, I really do enjoy this foundation and the whole combo. I really can't tell a difference between the Tatcha side and the Morphe side. Honestly, I can't tell a difference at all. So maybe I need to try that Morphe primer with some of my other foundations because that's a lot cheaper than the Tatcha primer that I have been using and loving. So overall, all of the products that I tried today get the stamp of approval from me. I think they're all really, really good. I do want to try some different combos with this concealer because let me show you. These concealers right here, these are the same swatches from earlier today, like 11 o'clock. These are the same swatches. They dried down matte, and I have been like rubbing them, not even knowing that they're there, and they literally have not budged. So that's a long wearing concealer if you ask me. So the fact that it creased a little bit, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I've ever had a concealer not crease on me, but I know that is a big issue that people have with concealers. So I do want to try some different setting powders and different foundations with those concealers, but overall, I really, really honestly like everything, and I'm really excited about this foundation because it's so freaking matte, and I love matte. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I know it's a little bit different than my normal filming style, but I thought that this would be the best way to give an in-depth review of this foundation. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!